By order of His Royal Highness King Anduin Rin, all able-bodied citizens of the Alliance are to report to Thessarian at Andorhal. On the heels of our early victories in Andorhal, the Forsaken have decided to launch a counterattack. Your help is needed to beat back the Scourge and Horde and reclaim lost Andorhal.
Well met.
There's much to be done here. Both of our enemies are relentless and would slaughter us without mercy the moment we sheath our blades. Dark Master Ganling of the Cult of the Damned leads the Scourge offensive here in Andorhal. My old counterpart, Koltira, leads the Forsaken forces. If we're to win in Andorhal, we'll have to defeat both, but we'll certainly fall if we take on both at once. I know Koltira well enough to know that he will focus on the Scourge first. We will do the same. Take out the weaker, desiccated Scourge to reduce their numbers. The Forsaken will have to wait to taste our wrath. Haraj the Summoner is bolstering the Scourge defense with simple skeletons, an army of weaklings that will overwhelm you before it overpowers you. He has assembled enemy within Andorhal's northern towers that spew these skeletons out at an alarming rate. But I've got the solution. Their function is simple. Throw these grenades at the bone animus, or for that matter a mob of skeletons, and we'll reduce them to splinters.
Off and away!
You may not act quickly, but at least you do not fail me. Very well, I will have a more important task for you when the time is right.
None shall oppose you, Death Lord.
Abomination strong, Metrolite stronger.
Hi, how are you?
These grenades are all explosives, nothing more. I may not be a goblin engineer, but I still understand the value of being able to explode things every once in a while. With the Animus destroyed, the next logical step is to take out Araj himself, and to take a shard of his phylactery. You've probably already seen him, lurking in the fountain in the center of town. Take my grenades with you. They won't do anything to Araj, but if he decides to summon any of those skeletons, you can use them to blow them away, again. Skolamans is one of the few Scourge strongholds remaining in west of Throndel. The headmaster of Skolamans is a cultist by the name of Dark Master Ganling, and he's made his appearance on the battlefield. This will be his final mistake. You'll find Ganling in a square near the southern end of town. I want you to fight and weaken Ganling. I will join you to help finish him off.
We do what the living cannot.
Ganling is strong, but do not worry. I will join you shortly after you begin the fight with him. Ganling has brought his Lieutenant Radogor with him. This clattering horror is far more dangerous than any of his other Scourge you will find upon the battlefield, even the abominations. You'll find Radogor within an old town hall building near the center of town. I recommend caution before fighting him. He will not be a pushover.
The ebon blade will prevail.
Enough of this. The cult of the damned doesn't need Andorhal. This worthless city is yours to fight over. Toltira, I heard rumors that you were here in Lordaeron. You heard correctly. I wanted to give you a chance to kill me again. It looks like it may have come to that. Yes, it may, but not today. With the scourge out of the way, I will plan to pull my troops back and regroup. I see. Then I will do the same. But you must be aware, Kultir, we are brothers no longer. You are a member of the Horde now, and I of the Alliance. Eventually, we will fight this battle for Andorhal, and only one of us can walk off the battlefield victorious. Yes, I know. And don't think I'll go easy on you. Yeah, very well. Look forward to it. Oraj, a formidable opponent. Oraj dead. This is good. The gnome has done his part in winning this war, as have you.
We do what the living cannot.
Excellently done. And now with the leader of the Scourge forces eliminated from Andorhal, we bide our time.
None shall oppose you, Death Lord.
The Alliance are victorious, and our forces are still strong. Military strategy dictates that we attack the Forsaken now, while they are recovering and unaware. I made a deal, however. We will wait. We attack Kultira and its troops when the time is right. In the meantime, speak with Guinea Goodwin and take a flight to Chowin Camp to our south. Commander Ashlam Valorfist will give you your next assignment. You will hear from me when you are needed again in Andorhal.
We do what the living cannot.
What can I do for you?
Word arrived shortly before you did. With the Scourge ejected from Andorhal, we are one step closer to retaking Andorhal. We must always be prepared for battle. Whether that battle is against the Forsaken in Andorhal, against the Scourge in the east, or against some yet unknown foe is unknown. What is known is that we must be ready. We are low on arrows. I can obtain the shafts and heads, but I still need feathers. The birds that circle to the northwest typically molt this time of year. Would you mind traveling out into the field and gathering some of our feathers for our camp?
See you around. Can I help you?
I hail from Westfall, far to the south, as do these men that travel with me. We are farmers and nothing more. I've been told that Lordaeron has been healed and that it will be ready for tilling. However, this commander now tells me that it's too dangerous to proceed. It says that there's a war going on and that the Plaguelands still aren't healed. Before anything else, I need to get some food in my men's stomachs. Anything will do. Bear seems to be plentiful.
For the Alliance. Hey there.
It's good to see you back, Metro. I'll let my Fletchers get to work on these. I'm glad to see you being so useful right away. Perhaps I will have some more exciting tasks for you. You hunt like a true paladin. Even if we can't set up our homesteads, at least we can still eat. These farmers from the south wish to take these farms, but I can't let them enter the Plagueland unprepared. Even with the Scourge gone, danger still looms in the form of the Forsaken. No, we must be ready to fight, and that includes our new visitors. Before doing anything else, however, I would recommend that you travel to Uther's tomb to the east, and place this tribute before his statue to ask for his blessing. Speak with the priest that tends to the tomb when you are finished. Sorrow Hill up the road to the northeast was one of the first places that the Argent Crusaders and Cenarian Circle were able to heal. The area is now freed of the Scourge. However, there are still many specters of the past that, for some reason, have not passed on to the next world. They may be mourning, they may be unfinished business, or they may just be lost. Take my thurible and use it to douse them with holy incense. One way or the other, we will help them move on to the next plane.
Be careful.
be with you.
You and the humans at Chillwind Camp wish to retake Andorhal. I wish you luck. If you truly intend to move forward in this battle for Andorhal, well, perhaps I can help. To the east lies a large crypt. The bottom level of the crypt was used once for the storage of weapons and armor, until the Scourge came. Now that the undead have left, the weapons are free for the taking. Most of the weapons are probably rusted and rotten by now, but they will serve better than any tunics and pitchforks.
Denadris.
Scattered all over the bottom level of the crypt, you find shattered crates that once held weapons and armor. It appears that somebody got here before you did. As you turn around, you see the silhouettes of shambling skeletons on the stairs. The undead aren't gone from this crypt. They were lying in wait. Furthermore, they appear to be armed with the weapons that you came for. You'll have to escape from the crypt. On your way out, you should gather as many pieces of equipment as you can.
King's honor, friend.
Hopefully most of them passed on peacefully. I thank you.
Light bless you.
What happened at Uther's tomb, Metro? Attacked by ghosts. Strange. I suppose the crypt wasn't fully healed after all. You just missed Thurman Grant. You remember that oaf of a farmer that was here earlier? He took his men with him and he traveled to the nearest farm, against my orders. The farmers traveled to the Writhing Haunt, an old farm to the northeast, across the river. Someone needs to keep an eye on them. Bring those rusty weapons and armors you found. We can't have them fighting with pitchforks.
See you around.
These men and women here at Chillwind Camp have noble goals, but their ultimate purpose is war. I would like to offer you an opportunity to pursue more peaceful goals. At the Mender's Stead, beyond war-torn Andorhal to the north, the Ardent Crusade has joined forces with the Cenarian Circle. Together we work on healing this land from the plague that used to reign here. Are you interested in joining our cause, Paladin?
Have a good one.
What can I do for you?
Did Valorfus send you? He doesn't know when to let up, does he? Well, now you're here, we'll gladly take the armor off your hands. You can keep the weapons, though. These men wouldn't know which end to hold. I told Commander Valorfus we could hold our own, and we intend to. I had a little conversation with the Death Knight General, Thessarian, on our way over here. My farmers plan to help in our own way. We will take control of this farm, begin to cultivate the land, and then when the battle for Andorhal commences, we will attack the Forsaken from the rear. They'll never expect it. First, we need to get rid of the Forsaken Outriders. Kill some, then return to me.
See you later.
You fight well, Dwarf. My men could stand to learn a few moves from an experienced paladin like you. In fact, you might still be able to help train some of my men. You'd probably notice the abomination outside. We initially tried to fight him, but he didn't fight back. He seems to want to help out on the farm. Take a group of 4 settlers and challenge this abomination to combat. He seems to be pretty tough, but with 1 of him and 5 of you, I think you'll have a chance of beating him. If you really want to help out, you can help me and my friends with some combat. You want fight? Alright, gory fight. You farmers fight more good. We can handle things from here. I thank you for your help. I assume that when we next meet, it'll be in the battle. Take care of yourself until then.
For the Alliance.
Good fortune.
Welcome, Paladin. As you can see, our camp is a joint expedition between Ardent Crusade members and Cenarian Circle Druids, but we welcome all who wish to heal the land. No longer does the Scourge hold this area. We, the living, are retaking Lordaeron. We have already taken great strides, as you have already seen. The earth flowers, the trees grow tall and green, and the wildlife is beginning to return. Yet a few remnants of undeath remain. While the trees and grass prosper, the animals are struggling. Something is preventing them from healing, and I intend to find out what. Bring me samples from the plagued wildlife so I may study them more closely.
Do not lose faith.
I am Adrien Tauhide, a druid of the Cenarian Circle. You can thank us for healing this land, where once there was only death. We accept all who choose to follow the druidic path, regardless of race, faction, or talent. Occasionally, this means we enlist a druid who needs more help than others. I'd like you to meet Zenkiki. He's pretty new, and he's still learning his craft. Would you mind taking him out for a while? You can practice combat on the plagued animals that roam nearby. Dwarf, I'm glad someone's here to help me out. We Cenarian druids have recultivated Dalson's farm immediately behind me. The land has flourished, and our crops have been successful, mostly. A few plants seem to still be infected by the plague that ran through this land. Perhaps our roots were too deep. Perhaps our seeds were weak. I cannot say. All I can say is that I need an able paladin like you to help remove the bad plants from the good ones.
Pop in anytime.
The Naru have not forgotten us.
Once the animals are healed, our duties here will be nearly complete. It will be more than enough, Metro. Now I will need some time to perform my studies. We're not the only Argon Crusaders here in the Plaguelands. Our headquarters, Hearthglen, lies to the north. Even nearer to the north is a small lumber mill, which we used to control. Nathaniel Dumas is my main contact at the lumber mill. I encourage you to speak with him should you find yourself in that part of the woods.
Good health, long life.
You wish to speak?
It looks like Zenkiki is still having a little bit of trouble with his shapeshifting. Among other things, Zenkiki needs to work on his spell accuracy. I could see his rat spell spiraling out of control even from here. In fact, I used them as a marker to follow your progress through the woods. Perhaps we can use Zenkiki's another way. Take him up to the top of the hill just to our east. The diseased hawks that circle above that hill must be destroyed. Ask Zenkiki to shoot at those hawks. Even if he can't hit them, he will distract them so you can finish them off.
What brings you?
Now we're getting somewhere. How many birds did Zenkiki end up killing? None? You killed them all yourself. Alright. I suppose we'll have to find another use for him then. I'll let you know when the time is right.
What can I do for you?
Welcome to Northridge, Paladin. It's good to be back in Northridge. I've got my mill, my beautiful wife, a bouncing baby boy. I've even put in my hat with the Ardent Crusade. I'll be supplying Tyrion's forces with lumber. My lumberjacks were being exceptionally productive too, up until the point when the spiders came. Now they refuse to go any deeper in the woods. Maybe you can help me out. Hop on one of my horses and use it to frighten those spiders. Maybe we can avoid bloodshed and just scare them away.
Careful.
I'm happy for Nathaniel. He spent so long trying to return to Northridge, and now with the Scarlet Crusade out of the way, he can finally move back home. It's just, even for such a seemingly idyllic setting, it's not really the best place to raise a family. For example, along this valley's edge, you will find rabid foxes searching for innocent prey. Every once in a while, I catch a glimpse of one looking right at me. Please, Paladin, remove some of these foxes. I don't feel safe with them near.
Be careful.
Okay, we need to take a second here. I need to figure out, is this guy somebody who's been in the game or what? Gotta be, right? Yeah, he was in Chillwind Camp. Oh, a plague upon thee. Oh, that's awesome. Oh, that's great. This is the guy who gives you the quest to come up here and turn the termites. Oh, that's just great. That's really cool. It sounds like they're certainly afraid of the Mustang, but they're not leaving for good. I can't have you running around on a horse forever. Bloodshed it is. The High Lord was generous enough to send some of his recruits to protect us here at the mill. With your horsemanship skills and their martial prowess, we can do away with the spider problem easily. Hop back on that Mustang and scare those spiders again, but this time scare them all the way up here to the mill. These Hearthglen recruits can handle things from here. That's much more like it. Now my lumberjacks can get to work again. Nice riding out there. You cut a pretty impressive silhouette on that Mustang. Oh, before you go, I have a message for you. There's someone in Hearthglen who'd like to meet with you. Said he's heard your name pop up a few times already. Consider yourself lucky, Metro. Not everybody gets a personal audience with High Lord Tyrion Fordring. Oh, and feel free to use one of my Mustangs for the ride up there. They're the fastest money can buy.
Only by working together can
Metro,
we
it is truly a pleasure. I know you are young and still training, but I've had my eye on you. We among the Ardent Crusade are always looking for promising new recruits, and you have indeed showed great promise. I have no immediate task for you, but merely wish to meet you in person and see for myself what type of dwarf you really were. For the time being, the amenities of Hearthglen are yours to enjoy. I look forward to our next meeting. You are dismissed.
Each of us has a role to
Farewell. Send my regards to the good men and women at the Mender's Stead. I've been many places in my life, good paladin. I fought the battle for Anchorage, passed through the dark portal into Outland, and joined the Ardent Crusade to beat down Scourge in the coldest Northrend. But before it all, I was a farmer here in Lordaeron. Now I find myself here in Hearthglen, a scant few miles from home. It's time I paid my respects. I'm headed to the Mender's Stead before I return home. I wouldn't mind meeting up with you once again when I get there. Greetings, how do you do? My name is Daria. I'm one of the priestesses in charge of preserving the peace here in Hearthglen. One of my duties involves maintaining the tower down the trail to the southeast of Hearthglen. That particular tower is of particular importance to the High Lord. It is the place where his son was killed. With the recent incursion of gnolls, however, maintenance of the tower has grown difficult. Will you help me rid the trail of some of these gnoll vandals so I can do my duty? So I've never actually finished in Dreams, the quest. I don't think it's Alliance or Horde. I think it's any faction. Yeah, I'm 90% sure if any faction gets that. I've never actually finished that quest. But I know that his son is killed in Hearthglen, and I wasn't sure where. This is actually kind of crazy to be back in Hearthglen. I'm not going to lie about it. This is one of the most, it's a very unique place.
What can I do for you?
Finally, you're here. Get to work. My men have been sparring with these wooden practice dummies for far too long. Sure, you can learn how to swing a sword by practicing with a dummy, but real combat requires a real combatant. I asked for them to send me someone imposing, but I suppose a skinny-armed dwarf paladin will have to do. Now get in there and teach my men how to fight. Mom was right. I'll never make it into the Arden Crusade. I'm just looking over my paperwork here, and it says that I was expecting a female dwarf paladin. You're not. Never mind. It would appear that you were not the person that I originally hired, but you did a good job, so I'm going to pay you anyhow. I've got one more problem that needs fixing, and you have a look about you that just screams, I'm a problem fixer. There's a small mine on the northern edge of Hearthglen, where we get most of the ore that the town needs. My drudges who work the mine normally do a decent job. Unfortunately, it seems that a larger than average spider has taken up residence within the cave. Think you can clear things up for me? Nice work. In retrospect, I'm glad that other dwarf paladin never showed up. You've proven to be all the help I need.
For the Alliance.
I must admit, Metro, I've been using my mind vision spell to keep tabs on you, and I must say, the number of gnolls you found on the trail is truly staggering. Allow me to concentrate for a moment. Further down the trail, south of Tailland's Tower, the gnolls have carved out a small meeting area in the east of the main road. Something is happening there. I'm not certain what. We should investigate. I will look for anything out of the ordinary. You just protect yourself. Gnolls and necromancy. What a surprise. And I thought that here in the Western Plaguelands we had put those dark days behind us. Wait, what is that? See those reagents over there and the supplies right here? Those belong to the Arden Crusade. Gnolls are known for thievery, but as far as I know, Hearthglen hasn't had any incursions since the Red Pine came. Very suspicious. I know a few helpful folk from Hearthglen. Morris Vant, Outfitter Mendeleev, Bree Ironstark, and High Cleric Alphys. All can be trusted, and all are well connected. Question them to find out if they know anything about those lost supplies.
What's on your mind?
Hello, ma'am. Heard any interesting rumors lately? Well, let's see. I heard that Magus Bisp has been spending his times cooped up on top of his tower working on some new spell or something. I heard that Dal Garen was planning on retiring and heading back to his farm. He may have already left, in fact. Oh, and I heard that there's some dwarf paladin running around town asking people all sorts of annoying questions. Just playing with you, love. Hope that information helped.
Watch your back.
Have you noticed anything strange lately? Any new customers buying anything suspicious? What is this, an interrogation? You're not one of Fordring's internal affairs guys, are you? I've got nothing to hide. Let me look over my records. Last week I sold a bowel gown to Lieutenant Miner, which struck me as odd. What else? Magus Bisp bought several dozen leather jerkins, which he couldn't give a reason for. Oh, and Friar Burlington came by to stock up on swimwear for his trip to Hard Wrench Hideaway. That's about it. Now, if you don't mind, I have customers. Did you notice, Metro? Many names were mentioned, but one was mentioned far more than the others. Magus Bisp is one of the Hearthglen's most preeminent arcanists. To imagine that he would be interacting with gnolls and dabbling in necromancy? Unthinkable. You'll find him atop the tower near Hearthglen's main gate. Hopefully he'll have an explanation for all this. If not, well, I wouldn't go to the top of that tower unprepared, Metro.
Light be with you.
I was wondering what you knew about the gnolls to the south. Someone has been giving them supplies to practice necromancy.
Total honor.
You'll pay for your life for interfering with my plans, you miserable scum. Suppose we can take his aggression as an admission of guilt. You alright, Metro? So you killed a member of the Arden Crusade inside a Hearthglen. Usually that's not smiled upon, even in self-defense. I recommend you come back to Martinhold Keep and turn yourself into High Lord Fordring. Hopefully he will hear you out and will be sympathetic with your situation. I hope I haven't gotten you in any trouble. That would be a bit ridiculous, considering you're the one who asked me to kill him. This is Tyrion forging we're talking about too, man. Come on. It's my idol, dude. What the hell? Why'd you make me do this?
Put your faith in the light, and all is possible.
I'm already aware of your actions. I welcomed you into my town, gave you my blessing, and what do? You slay the traitor that we've been hunting down for weeks. Well done. Your heroism is budding much earlier than even I had anticipated.
End of the scourge draws near.
But really cool area. Beyond cool. Probably one of the best areas in the game. Hearthglen is steeped in lore, honestly. Hearthglen is in Warcraft 3, is it not? Let me take one quick look. Oh yeah, Hearthglen is the place that we defend. Oh, yeah. This is the place that he defends from the Scourge. Oh, I didn't even realize. Wait, what the hell is this? Look at this. This is what Hearthglen looks like in Classic. It's got red roofs, and now everything's a blue roof. Wow, that's bizarre.
Can I help you?
It would appear that I arrived before you. Field Agent Kartesh gave me details about my old home. It seems my battles with the Scourge aren't over quite yet. It's funny, the things you remember. I spent 16 hours a day working the fields, and every 7th day I'd head into bustling Andorhal to sell what I've grown. It was a rough life, but we did alright. I barely remember any of that. When I think back to those days, I think about Gloria's smile or Andrea waving at me from the window whenever I look up from the plow. The farm's just a bit to the east, but I'm not sure I'm ready to go back, Metro. I'd just like to make sure I hold on to these memories. My analysis is complete. The blight that affects the animals here is no residual disease. No, it is something new. I think I know what it is. The Cult of the Dam maintains a plague cauldron on a farm called Garen's Withering. The farm is due southeast of us, close to where the eastern Plaguelands begins. I need a sample from this cauldron to verify my suspicions. Eliminate the cauldron lord present there for its key. You will then be able to access the cauldron and obtain my sample. An access panel to the cauldron remains securely fastened. In order to open it, you will need to find the key. Cauldron Lord Soulrat's key disintegrates as it touches the lock on the access panel at the base of the cauldron's platform. A slight clanking noise is heard within, and the access panel swings open to reveal more vicious toxins within the cauldron's framework. There's a small spigot that the bottle fits well enough under, allowing you to draw a sample for Field Agent Kartesh back at Mender's stead. You carefully close the spigot in the control panel, watching the cauldron's putrid ichors drip into the empty bottle. With the poison in hand, it is time to return to Field Agent Kartesh at Mender's stead. Garen's Withering houses a viciously potent plague cauldron. Good work. One moment, please. Granite takes a moment to compare your sample with the sample he presumably had distilled earlier. Yes, this appears to be the same corruption that is affecting the wildlife. With this knowledge and with your combat expertise, we may have the power to stop this. Cult of the Dam maintains a small camp to the east, Militia Outpost, which they use for field training outside Skullman's. We may have allowed them to proceed unchecked with this training for too long. If cultists are truly using the plague to inoculate the wildlife, then Militia Outpost must be where the inoculation is occurring. Instructor Militia runs the outpost. Find her, slay her, and find out who she is taking orders from. While you've been away, I've been trying a different approach with our friend Zenkiki. I believe he has a future as a healer. This is mainly because healing spells never miss. I hear from Field Agent Kartish that the cultist camp to the east is where the plagued animals are coming from. I hope you don't mind escorting Zenkiki over there. Perhaps we can help heal some of the plagued animals within the camp.
Hey there.
I wouldn't expect you to indulge the whims of a nostalgic old man, Metro. Still, if you find yourself in the area. This Gloria used to read from this prayer book every night. How I had forgotten. She was so devout, Metro. Oh. This painting. My daughter, Andrea. She loved to paint.
See you around.
You take a look at the paperwork Milicia was carrying. The orders in Milicia's possessions incriminate Darkmaster Ganling of Skullomance, but they also conceal another important bit of information. The cult orders state that the plague from the cauldron at Garen's Withering is in fact being used for two purposes. The first is the practice of spreading disease through the animals of the Plagueland, which you already knew about. The remainder of the plague is being shipped to Weeping Cave, a cavern north of Milicia's outpost, for use in some dark experiments. Students of Skullomance are using this plague to reanimate the dead. Certainly, they must be stopped.
How may I aid?
By the grace of the Earth Mother, he's done it. Thank you, Metro. I admit I'd nearly given up hope on Zenkiki. It's only due to your patience and diligence that he has come into his own as a druid and member of the Cenarian Circle, and that's without even mentioning the good you've done for nature. You have my admiration and respect. You've gone above and beyond, Metro. Not only have we set back the Cult of the Damned in their crusade to replague the Plaguelands, but you have uncovered another set of dire plans that continue to reanimate the dead. Your name will definitely be mentioned when this information is presented to Hylorn Fordring. You have my thanks, and the blessings of the Ardent Crusade. That's funny, you see Zenkiki walking by as a tree? Look at that. Thanks for helping me out, Mon. No more shapeshifts for me. I'm going to work on my healing. Is that actually what tree form looks like for Troll? That's awesome looking. There's no way, that's just for him probably.
How are ya?
Word is in from Andorhal Metro. The battle has resumed. It's become somewhat well known amongst the Alliance forces that you're a hero of the first Battle of Andorhal. Sarian has requested your presence immediately.
See you soon.
I am yours to command.
Word has it that you helped those farmers arm themselves. Well, now they've initiated the attack without my order. They forced my hand. The battle has resumed. The time we fight the Forsaken, and I fought Kultira, my old brother of the Ebon Blade. To the east, deep within Forsaken-held Andorhal, you will find their commanders. They do not fight, but call out orders from their horseback. Hunt down and slay these commanders. The Forsaken won't stand a chance. I'm no military expert, but this battle looks to be in our favor. Our defenders are equally matched with their death guards, but the farmer militia has taken them by surprise from the rear. For the Alliance. Still, we should all do what we can to make sure we win. Travel east into Andorhal and slay the Forsaken death guards that are fighting with our men. The sooner they die, the quicker we can retake Andorhal.
Off and away.
I am here to serve.
Well done. With them out of the way, I have no more excuses. Soon I must battle Kultira, for honor and for Andorhal.
None
We
shall
are winning this battle, Metro. As long as those farmers keep chipping away at the Forsaken's flank, we will overtake them. We nearly have this battle won. I can taste victory. The Forsaken never stood a... What the hell's
the
that?
Ebon Blade will prevail.
Is that a Valkyr? Kneel, Alliance. Kneel before the might of the Forsaken. Valkyr. Kultira brought Valkyr to this fight? Has he gone mad? No, this is not Kultira's work. This was Sylvanas. Valkyr were one of the Scourge's primary weapons. Not only were they skilled in battle, but they could be used to convert corpses into Scourge minions. Think that Sylvanas is stooping to such levels for the sake of the Forsaken? We need to stop the Valkyr before they wipe us out and turn our army against us. Slay as many as you can find, and bring some of these Minutemen with you. If they've survived this long, then they must have some battle skill. Our militia has been nearly wiped out. Only I and these few farmers remain. Those winged creatures, they took the bodies of our men and turned them into walking undead corpses. With every one of our men they took, they bolstered their own ranks. It pains me to admit it, but you will need to fight them too, along with the Death Guards and Valkyr. As they did in life, they hunt in packs, so take some of the Minutemen with you.
Can I help you?
You fought valiantly, but we're getting nowhere. Every body that falls just fuels their forces. For every Valkyr you slay, you save dozens of our men and prevent the forces from growing. Still, they press on. We may not win this battle after all. I spoke too quickly. Even with your support, things are looking grim for our forces out there. Our last hope of victory lies in defeating the Valkyr. You've done well up until now, but you're only one man, and there are literally dozens of them raining destruction on the battlefield. One enormous Valkyr sits atop the tower to the south. You can see her from here. Perhaps if we eliminate her, the remaining Valkyr would dissipate. This is our only hope. Bring some of Grant's men with you. You'll need their protection for this battle.
I am yours to command.
I watched your victory from below. Well fought, but ultimately it was for naught. The Valkyr and the Forsaken press on. Soon they will overtake us. We have lost Andorhal. Head south to Chilwyn Camp. Tell Commander Ashlam Valorfist everything that happened here. Me? I'm going west into Tirisfal. My battle's not yet over. I've got an appointment with the harpy that calls herself a Banshee Queen, and I'm finding out what she did to Kultira.
The Ebon Blade will prevail.
You need something?
Lost? No. Next I'll be coming for Chilwyn, I suppose. This was a major strategic blow to the Alliance's plans for Lordaeron. Very well. I will report the results of the battle to King Rin. I don't expect him to be happy.
See you around.
Alright, so that is Western Plaguelands from the Alliance perspective. It's a zone that I'm very interested in. I loved it in Classic. It's one of the most iconic zones in Classic, one of the most iconic zones in Warcraft 3 as well. Very important story takes place here start to finish. So I was very glad to come through here as Alliance, and I'm considering doing it on Horde. I would be interested in seeing what is actually different, because I think I've done it on Horde before, but I can't remember. Obviously, the middle chapter, probably 1, 2, and 3 are different, but I imagine the Mender's Stead is probably the exact same and all those quests. So we'll take a look and see what happens. But thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next one.